and months in music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song called "Don't Let Me Down" by the Beatles. And we're going to start off with kind of a couple main intro licks, actually. And we start off with kind of this cool little lick where you can play the open E, and then you could go to 9th fret on the A string and do kind of a hammer-on. And then we go to 9th fret on the D string, and then 11th to 9th is kind of a pull-off on the D string, and then 11 on the A, 9 on the A, and then 12 on the A, and then 11 on the A, and then we kind of go to 12th on the low E and kind of do a slide. So we want to kind of play that, press in with enough pressure to get the sound to kind of sound. So all together on that, you got kind of that 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 12, 11, 12 slide. I know that's a lot to take in real quick. 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 12, 11, 12 on the low E string. It's kind of that intro lick. And that is actually kind of a little piece of an E major pentatonic scale. And actually, if you know pentatonics, actually this is pattern number 1. But you would start with your first finger on the 9th fret on the low E string, kind of matching a C sharp note. And you'd have kind of the 12th fret on the low E string is kind of an E note. So you got a C sharp to E on the low E string that's kind of part of that scale. And then on the A string, we'd have kind of 9 to 11. On the D string, we have 9 to 11. On the G string, we have 9 to 11. On the B string, we'd have 9 to 12. And then on the high E string, you'd have 9 to 12. It's kind of pattern 1. C sharp, E, and then we got kind of a F sharp, and then a G sharp, and then we got a B note, and then a C sharp note, and an E note, and a F sharp note, G sharp, and a B, and then we got a C sharp, and then E. So kind of E, F sharp, G sharps, and B's and C sharps is kind of the 5 notes that make up that scale. So if you wanted to, you could embellish that lick a little bit. Matching little pieces of the scale, and actually I was kind of almost laying down my first finger as kind of a mini bar. If you kind of dig on that idea of kind of adding in more notes of the scale to the lick. Almost kind of like anything on 9th fret is kind of fair game to add to that lick. Match the rhythm, it can be kind of cool to play around with some other ideas. It's kind of a little double stop idea where you're playing 2 notes at the same time. Could get turned into more of a kind of matching little pieces of the scale. I don't know if you kind of dig on that or not, but I thought that was a cool idea to throw in. And that lick's actually around kind of an E major chord idea, even though it doesn't actually get played. It's more of kind of just the lick for the intro part. But if you were going to match that lick to a chord, it would be matched to an E major chord. And the way you play E major, you do first finger on the G string, 1st fret, 2nd finger on the A string, 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the D string, 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E major chord. It sounds really, really happy. Now, especially if you want to stay closer to where that scale is, though, you can actually use a bar E major where you can do, this is even the 7th fret bar over the A to the high E string, 3rd finger over the D, G, and B string. It's kind of another way you might want to kind of play around with your E major too. That might be kind of cool. Kind of working around that little piece of the E major. Now you may also want to think about just an E5 power chord too, especially if you're just starting out and you want to make this a little bit heavier. So you could even use just the E5, just the E and the A string of the E major chord, actually, just kind of the low strings, and kind of adding a little bit of muting to that could be kind of cool too. So you may want to just play that chord to kind of set yourself up at the beginning. Don't let me, and then we go, alright, that's right, I don't have the range for the song. Or you could use another E5 by doing 1st finger on the A string 7, 3rd finger on the D string 9, and kind of work out for your E5. So you may just want to just kind of kick things off with just a big E chord. You know, if that lick is a little bit too crazy for you. Don't let me, and then we'd be going to an F sharp minor chord. And the way you play F sharp minor, normally you do this as a 2nd fret bar, and we'll talk about some easier options here too. But then 3rd finger on the A string on the 4th fret, pinky on the D string 4th fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an F sharp minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. Now you may may also dig on lifting the pinky and making that an F sharp minor 7, or you could add in the pinky on the B string 5th for kind of an F sharp minor chord. Or randomly, you could even take the pinky and add it on the high E on the 4th fret, make that a G sharp minor 9, which might be kind of cool too for the tune. G minor 7, G minor 6. Actually, there's lots of those notes at E major you can play around with to kind of embellish that chord too. Or you could use just an F sharp 5 power chord. If you're just starting out, it might be easier to do just a 2-finger chord. Or you do first finger on the low E 2nd fret for the F sharp, third finger on the A string 4th fret for the C sharp note, kind of working just those 2 notes. You can't even make it really heavy that way. F sharp minor, F sharp 5, don't let me. Or if you're digging on that other power chord, you can even take that idea and just slide it over to 9th fret and 11th fret, kind of as another F sharp 5 power chord. That may be kind of cool if you want to go a little bit high too. So it might be kind of cool to kind of alternate between those ideas. Or there's this cool little bass lick there where you can play 2nd fret on the low E string, and 4th fret on the D string, and then we can do a pull off from 4th to 2 on the D string, and then another pull off, and then 4 on the A, 2 on the D, 4 on the D. It's kind of another pull off back to 2 and then back to 4. So it's really kind of working off an F sharp and an E note. So you're kind of going F sharp, F sharp, F sharp E, F sharp E, and then C sharp E, F sharp E, F sharp. 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. Might be kind of a cool thing to kind of be aware of around the F sharp minor chord too. And then from there, then we go to back to our E major chord, and you'll kind of hear that main lick come back. Actually, kind of that 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 12, 11, 12 slide, kind of working through the tune too. So you could even kind of follow just the licks, or you could work some strumming. For instance, one way to do it would be kind of doing kind of an 8 down count on each of those chords. F sharp minor, don't let me don't let me F sharp minor, don't let me E, and then we kind of have almost a big E hit on that last E chord where you may just want to kind of let big downs, ring through the wilderness. Now a couple other strum patterns that you could use though, actually, some really cool options here. One of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So you could even take the F sharp minor and just try that a lot. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So we tried it that way. We'd have kind of the F sharp minor, F sharp minor, don't let me down. Oh, that was cool too. Actually, I was kind of working off an E sus. Actually, if you dug on that lick. Took the pinky of the E and added it to the E major on the 2nd fret on the A, or on the G string. It's an A note for an E sus chord. So if you're digging on that, actually, that can kind of actually work in little pieces of the other chords that we were just talking about. The reason why I like talking about options is because it gives you a whole bunch of different things that you can say around the chord, and then that way you can talk a little bit around the chord. So you may want to even think about using that too. Actually, I thought that was a cool change. So F sharp minor. Don't let me down. Add in some suspended ideas around the E chord. Or you can even switch it back over, or make it heavier with the power chord idea too. Kind of the F sharp 5. If you're like, oh, power chords, I hate power chords. You can still kind of take that same idea and work it around the F sharp 5 even to the E chord. Don't let me down. There's a couple different options here, I think, that make it a little bit easier if you're kind of starting out. Or another strum pattern, actually, what it really kind of feels like, especially in the drums, is more of a 16th note kind of feel. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot in the beat, right now we're dividing that beat into 2 parts with our down, down, up, down, up. Kind of 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where you divide that into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's a couple different ones actually. It changes feel a couple times through the tune. But one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is a long down, 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 up, up, down, down, up, down. And what I mean by that is if you take the E and do it down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you'd be doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you'd be doing a down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 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 down. And then on the third beat, you'd be doing an up on 2, down on 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down. And on the last beat, you'd be going down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So down, 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 down. So all together. Especially in that first verse, actually, but in the verse you'll kind of hear this change to almost a down, up, down, up, down, up, 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you take the E and do kind of a down for 1 and then an up on 4, kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down. That's what you'd be doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you do the up on 2, down on 3. So kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down. And then on the third beat, you go up on 2, up on 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, 1, up, 1, up, up. And then on the last beat, you keep the down and down. Down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So all together with that pattern, you got kind of this down, up, up, down, up, up, down, 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 up, up, down. So try that through the progression. Then have the F sharp minor. On that feel through the song too, and actually we'll basically be repeating that idea until we get to kind of our bridge part. And on our bridge part is kind of I'm in love for the, and then we go back to kind of started out on our E major, and then from the E major we go to a B major chord. There's a couple different ways you can play B major. Normally you do this as a 2nd fret bar, and then 3rd finger over the D, G, and B strings is kind of a B major chord. Another way to do it as a bar, actually we'll talk about some non-bar ways too, but so you could do this as a 7th fret bar, 2nd finger on the G 8th fret, 3rd finger on the A9, pinky on the D9, it's kind of a B major chord. So you may want to kind of, from that shape randomly, you could even start out with the E major but play with the 2nd finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger, and then you can slide that shape up to 8th and 9th and then just put in your bar. Might be kind of a cool way to work it too. Or randomly, actually, a lot of times I like even drone voicings, especially if I'm in E major. You may want to dig on kind of lifting off the bar at all, and then have just 2nd finger on or 1st finger on the low E7 just to cover just the low E string note, leaving the E and the B string open. Might be kind of a cool option too if you're just starting out, looking for some bar options that aren't bars. That might be kind of cool too. You could also use a B7 chord, which is 1st finger on the D 1st fret, 2nd finger on the A 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the G 2nd, pinky on the high 2nd, kind of working that for the B7. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Or you could even kind of take your third finger and flatten them over the G, B, and E to make it a B9 and kind of jazz it up a little bit. Or if you want to make it heavier, you could go with kind of more of a rock sound, kind of a B5 power chord, by doing first finger on the A second, third finger on the D on the 4th fret for a B5. Or you could even do low E on the 7, third finger on the A9 for a B5 power chord. Kind of working that E5 to the B5 that way if that's easier for you. And really we could use any of those strumming options when we get to that. We could even do the down idea. E, da, da, dee, da, da, or the down, down, up, down, up. That has no E. So we kind of dig on that change. Or you could kind of do a couple other things. Actually, you do the 16th idea, and you can maybe want to experiment with switching between those fields. Actually, that can be very cool thing to kind of start out with one 16th feel. Down, down, up, down, 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 up. Or something else that I like to add to a song like this too is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, you're throwing a bass for the chord. So on the E, for instance, you'd have the low E for a bass. On the F sharp minor, you'd have low E for the bass. And on the B, you'd have the A for the bass if you're doing kind of the 2nd fret bar. On the low E 7th fret for the B bar on the 7th fret. Or the drone, if you're kind of digging on the drone voice again. Try to through our bridge that way. Or if we tried it, so if we try to through our bridge that way, we have the E, basses to that, and we can make it a bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, bass, bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down. So we tried it through the bridge that way, you'd have the E. On the other 16th pattern, you could work it as a bass, up, bass, up, down, up, down. Kind of dig on that. See how the E. Or you will definitely hear these really cool little bass licks actually through the tune, where on the first E chord you'll kind of hear open E, 7 on the A, 6 on the A, 7 on the A, 4 on the A, 7 on the A, and then 7 on the low E, 7 on the A, 5th on the low E, 7 on the A, 4th fret on the low E, and then 7 on the A. It's kind of like this little descending idea. It keeps coming back to the E. So you got kind of that 7 6 7 4 7 7 7 5 7 4 7. That's a moment where you pause the video and go, I gotta practice that. But so you got 7 6 7 4 7 7 7 5 7 4 7. Kind of an idea around the E. And then from there we go to a B idea that's very, very cool, kind of around the B7, where you got low E on the 7, 9 on the A, 6 on the A, 7 on the D, 9 on the A, and then you kind of play the 9 on the A and slide it to 11, and then we go back to 7 on the A, 9 on the A, 6 on the A, 9 on the A, so 9 on the low E, and then 9 on the A. So it's kind of this cool little B idea where you got 7, 9, 6, 7, 9, 9, 11, 7, 9, 6, 9, 9, 9. And we kind of repeat that twice for kind of our B idea. Kind of B, B, G sharp, D sharp, or F sharp, D sharp, and then A, F sharp, C sharp, E, F sharp, D sharp, F sharp, C sharp, F sharp. So kind of that B idea. And then we go into kind of our intro lick for the E, kind of 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 12, 11. And you want to throw in that 12 slide kind of at the end. So all the way through the licks for the bridge part, you got kind of E idea. Idea, and another B idea, and then the E idea. Don't let me, and then we're backing it on our chorus part. Now you will hear a lot of other lead licks through the tune. Actually, this can be a very cool tune. Actually, to even take that E major pentatonic that we were talking about when I was kind of going over the intro lick, and making up licks in that pattern. And it can be even kind of cool to throw in the low E string. If you don't have a backing track or something to practice that idea. So I kind of play an open E and then kind of making up licks, you know, with hammer-ons, or pull-offs, or slides, or double stops. We're kind of talking about double stops with the lick. Use that little E chord for the slide even. Throwing that high E on the 12 could be very cool too, actually, around that figure. Don't let me, if you want to accent it, there's lots of ways to kind of mix it up. And then we'll basically be back into kind of our main group. Now you can hear a couple other cool licks here through the tune. Actually, one of my favorites actually, and I'm sure you could go find some good tab for this, you know, go buy Guitar Pro or something, and find out what's really going on at the Beatles anthology. There's that huge book that is the Bible that I don't have, and so I just pick out all these tunes. And that's my ear training, man. This is what I do. So you'll hit this other cool lick where you can take 14 on the high, slide to 12, and then that high. So it's kind of this cool little slide. And you kind of hear it pick up on the 7 on the B string to the 5th fret to the 2nd fret on the B string. So that's one of those cool little licks, actually, kind of just that little slide. Or you can even kind of throw in just that E major idea. Idea, kind of throwing in the licks with the chords, or you could just throw in the bass notes actually to kind of back that up too. Kind of F sharp minor with the bass down, down, F sharp minor with the wee bass, beautiful wee bass, or you could be digging on the other 16th pattern, adding basses to that. basics of how you could strum through "Don't Let Me Down" by the Beatles. So, good luck.